Hello again, Vlogosphere. This is T.S. Wolf, and I'm here today to talk to you about one of the most pressing issues that we face at our school today: returning clubs to Academy. To start off, here's a little bit of background for those of you who are unfamiliar to the issue, which would probably be pretty much anyone who doesn't attend Klahowya Secondary School, as well as those who do attend but live in a cave of ignorance. Sorry, I don't really know what I was doing at the end there. These videos are largely unscripted, so please forgive any errant improvisations. Anyway, yes, so here's the context. So we have this thing at our school that is called Academy, and it is essentially our study period. It's in the middle of the day. A couple of years ago it was at the end of the day, but that didn't work very well, so they moved it back to the middle of the day from around 10:30 to around 11:05, and it is intended primarily as a time for people to study or pursue independent or group projects. That being said, for most of the years that I attended Klahowya, Academy was also a time when, if you had a pass and you were caught up on all your homework, you could head off to an academic club, such as newspaper club or philosophy club, and even some of the less academic clubs I think had meetings during Academy as well, such as video game club, I believe. Academy was a really convenient time for students to go to clubs because, first of all, a lot of the students who were generally academically on top of things didn't really have that much to do during Academy, and clubs provided a good outlet for them. And then, second of all, there were very few other convenient times to hold club sessions. You could do before school club meetings, but no one was going to attend those. You could do after school club meetings, but those often conflicted with after school jobs or sports. And you could have club meetings during lunch, but we have 3 lunches at our school that are divided between the grades, so if you're not in a particular lunch, that could exclude you from a particular club or activity. Academy was the time when pretty much anyone could attend a club because we were all at the school, and it was a time when we were all permitted to pursue our extracurricular passions. However, all this changed roughly a year ago when the district made the decision to disallow clubs during our academic period. I've spoken with a lot of people about this issue at our school, including many teachers and many students. However, I have not spoken to anyone from the district about it, so this could all just be hearsay. But I am going to analyze now my impressions of why the district made the decision to stop having clubs during Academy. First and foremost, having clubs during Academy was an economic burden for the district because it was what they like to term double dipping for teachers' salaries. Because teachers that hosted a club during the academic study period were essentially getting paid twice the amount of money for the same amount of supervision. So the problem was teachers get paid to supervise the students who are in their academy for studying, and then teachers also get paid a stipend if they decide to be the manager or advisor for an extracurricular club. So by doing both those things at the same time, this created a problem economically because their attention was divided, but they still got that double salary. To this, I would counter that there are a great many clubs already where the teachers do not choose to accept the stipend in order to allow greater freedom for their students and for themselves. And I am sure that many teachers, having seen the disaster wrought upon club participation by the Academy ban, would probably be more than willing to follow that path and not accept the stipend in order to have their club during Academy. One of the teachers at our school, Mr. Kreifels, has also made the very good point that a number of clubs that had meetings during Academy also had significant amount of time spent outside of Academy working on club events for the advisor. So the advisor didn't just supervise during Academy. The advisor also participated at events such as competitions or meets for certain competitive clubs. Perhaps the best example of this was History Competition Club, which Mr. Kreifels advises. When it met during Academy, it would do that every other week once, and then we would also have competitions on a monthly or bi-monthly basis that took place outside of the regular workday for the teacher, Mr. Kreifels, and so he was volunteering his time outside of the class and thus fully would deserve that stipend, and it would not be double dipping. The other reason that was presented to me for why clubs were taken out of Academy is that Academy needs to be a time for people to focus on their studies, and a number of administrators were concerned that if we allowed clubs to take place, people would choose to attend clubs rather than to do their studies, and that would result in bad grades. I have several rebuttals to this point. The first one being that a great many clubs have academic requirements for entry, which is to say that only students who are doing well in their classes would be able to participate in these club meetings during Academy. I could go even further with that argument to say that being in clubs encourages better academic performance due to those academic requirements. It also makes people more engaged within their school community, which makes them enjoy school more, which in turn will likely lead to better grades. So there's that. In addition, we didn't see a whole lot of slacking off from students to go to club meetings when they knew they had work to do. Most of the people who even bother to attend clubs know that if they have studies that they need to be doing, they should be doing them. And even though they might feel socially pressured to attend club meetings, I would often see, back when we had clubs during Academy, students forego one or two club meetings in order to catch up on their schoolwork. I think that this is something that is kind of hard for the district administrators to grasp because they weren't able to witness the experience of clubs during Academy firsthand and understand the benefits it had for our school. All right, so those are the problems with having clubs during Academy and my responses to those problems. Now I'm going to talk about what I intend to do about this problem, because I do think that it's very important that clubs during Academy be returned to Klahowya. I'm going to start by telling you what I've already done about this issue. Now, as I've previously stated, I have talked to a number of people about clubs during Academy and the reasons for the decision, as well as people's thoughts and sentiments about it. I gathered a petition of over 200 signatures, including at least 10 teachers' signatures, advocating for the return of clubs during Academy. And I've also spoken to a number of administrators at our school about the steps that should be taken, most notably with Miss Hamlet, our activities advisor. At first, Miss Hamlet was rather pessimistic about the prospect of getting clubs during Academy back. She actually discouraged me from pursuing the matter any further, but I think gradually over time I have wore her down over the past year, because I just had a great talk with her a couple of weeks ago where she seemed to have a much more can-do attitude about the whole issue. And she actually told me some steps I could take and made some recommendations about how I would go about getting the policy reversed. It seems that the first thing I will need to do is arrange a meeting with our school principal, Miss Wolf. I plan on arranging that meeting sometime in the first week of school, which is just coming up. And following that meeting, I will hopefully have a full understanding of the administrator's perspective on this issue, as well as really have a firm grasp on what kind of solutions could be acceptable, if there's any chance of finding a solution. So I hope that Miss Wolf will be open to meeting with me and discussing our options about this. I will then take the case to the district administrator, and the fortunate news in that regard is that we actually got a new district administrator just over the summer. And so that is good news for two reasons. The first one is that it provides a fresh perspective on the issue, because this administrator was not present when the clubs during Academy ban was instated. And then the second thing is that my mother and my brother have both interacted with this district administrator in regards to other issues recently, and they say that he is very accepting and open and willing to hear people's problems and actually take steps to fix them. So that gives me renewed confidence in the Clubs During Academy battle, for which I was starting to somewhat lose hope. So never fear, a solution is on the horizon, Klahowia students. I will be working my hardest to return Clubs During Academy to y'all. And I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I hope it was interesting, even if you don't attend my school. I think it's kind of important to see what struggles high schools are facing. So thank you for your time.